We see them as icons of the wild, living mountains of muscle and bone, etched with the wisdom of ages. We call them gentle giants. It's a label that just feels right, capturing their immense power and their serene, soulful presence. But what does it really mean? We're drawn to their quiet majesty, but we also know they're capable of incredible destruction. So, can an animal that weighs up to 6 tons, an animal that can flip a car without a second thought, truly be called gentle? Or is their gentleness a sign of something much deeper, more complex, and infinitely more profound than we've ever imagined? The brain of an African elephant is the largest of any land animal on Earth, weighing over 5 kilos. It's packed with 257 billion neurons. That's 3 times more than a human brain. But here's the twist. Most of those neurons are in the cerebellum, the part of the brain that coordinates movement. Our cerebral cortex, the area for complex thoughts, actually has nearly 3 times more neurons than an elephant's. So what's going on inside that massive head? Inside that intricate network lies the capacity for behaviors we often reserve for ourselves. Grief, altruism, cooperation, and so they're part of an exclusive club of animals, along with great apes, dolphins, and even magpies that can recognize themselves in a mirror, a sign of a complex self. So the question isn't just about gentleness versus power. The real question is, what is going on inside the mind of an elephant? Is their gentleness an active choice, a product of profound emotional intelligence? We went into their world to find out, and what we witnessed will change everything you thought you knew. The idea of the gentle giant is a comforting one. We've seen it in movies and read it in books. Heartwarming clips go viral, showing elephants interacting delicately with smaller animals or showing incredible patience with their human caretakers. We see them as peaceful herbivores, roaming the savannas in close-knit families. And most of the time, that picture is absolutely true. They aren't predators. They have no instinct to hunt or to cause harm for the sake of it. Their lives revolve around finding food, raising their young, and navigating a complex social world. But that's only half the story. To ignore their capacity for aggression is to miss a huge and dangerous part of the picture. Every year, tragic encounters are reported where people are injured or killed. A male elephant in musth, a state driven by a massive surge in testosterone that can make him dangerously aggressive and unpredictably is one of the most formidable forces in nature. A mother elephant, fiercely protective of her calf, won't hesitate to neutralize any perceived threat with devastating force. These aren't acts of malice, they're driven by powerful biological and instinctual wiring. This creates a paradox. How can an animal be both a symbol of peace and capable of such incredible power? The media often shows one or the other, either a cuddly Dumbo or a raging monster. But the truth, as it so often is in nature, isn't in the extremes. It's in the vast, complicated middle. To really understand them, we have to look past the stereotypes and see what the evidence tells us. Our investigation starts not with their size, but with their social lives. Elephant society is one of the most complex and emotionally rich in the entire animal kingdom. They live in matriarchal herds, led by the oldest and most experienced female. This matriarch isn't just a leader. She's a living library of knowledge in the emotional bedrock of the family. She guides them to water she remembers from decades ago, teaches the young how to survive, and keeps the peace. It's within these families that we find the first, and maybe the most powerful, evidence for their gentle nature. Empathy. Elephants show a profound ability to sense and respond to the feelings of others. When a member of the herd is upset, others will rush to its side, stroking it with their trunks and making low, rumbling sounds that are meant to comfort and soothe. They offer support in a way that looks strikingly similar to how we comfort each other. This empathy extends to one of the most human-like behaviors ever seen in another animal: their reaction to death. Elephants mourn. They've been seen standing vigil over the bodies of fallen companions for days, silently touching the remains with their trunks. Tiki, the well-documented story of a matriarch named Eleanor in Kenya. After she collapsed, a matriarch from a completely different family, Grace, tried to help her, attempting to lift her and staying by her side. After Eleanor died, different families visited her body over a week, gently touching her remains. Years later, they will still return to the site of a loved one's death, as if paying their respects. This isn't just instinct, it's a prolonged, communal, and deeply emotional process that suggests an awareness of loss that rivals our own. And their compassion isn't just for their own kind. Countless stories tell of elephants helping other animals in distress or showing deep affection to their trusted human keepers. This well of emotion, this capacity for empathy and grief, is the foundation of their gentleness. It's not just how they are, but an active, emotionally intelligent way of being in the world. To get their gentleness, you have to get their intelligence. The elephant brain is a marvel. It's not just big, it's brilliantly structured. They have a highly developed cerebral cortex and hippocampus style regions we associate with problem solving, emotion, and memory. This gives them some incredible abilities. Their memory is legendary for a reason. An elephant can remember and recognize hundreds of individuals, both elephants and humans, for their entire lives. But a stunning discovery in 2024 revealed their communication is even more advanced than we ever dreamed. Scientists published groundbreaking research showing that elephants address each other with individual name-like calls. When researchers played a recording of an elephant's name, that specific elephant responded while ignoring calls for others. This kind of abstract communication, using arbitrary sounds as labels, was once thought to be a uniquely human skill. This intelligence is matched with remarkables. An elephant named Happy at the Bronx Zoo famously passed the mirror test when she repeatedly touched a painted X on her own forehead while looking in a mirror mark she could only see in her reflection. This shows a level of self-recognition that puts them in a very small group of species. Other studies have shown they understand that their own bodies can be obstacles in solving a problem, a cognitive leap that human kids don't make until they're about 2 years old. So what happens when this incredible intelligence and emotional depth meets trauma? The answer gives us the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. Elephants who witness horrific events, like poaching, can suffer from a version of post-traumatic stress disorder. These events shatter their families and leave deep psychological scars. Research shows that young elephants who grow up without the guidance of older matriarchs and role models can become far more aggressive and socially dysfunctional. A lot of the aggression we see isn't who they are, it's a painful response to what we've done to them. This brings us to our revelation. The term gentle giant is both perfectly right and completely wrong. It's wrong because it suggests they are simple, passive creatures, gentle, just because they aren't aggressive. But the evidence paints a far more extraordinary picture. Elephants aren't gentle by default. They appear to be gentle by choice. Their gentleness is the active, deliberate expression of their massive intelligence, their deep empathy, and their complex social understanding. When an animal with that much power enough to topple a tree chooses instead to gently nudge a lost calf or caress a grieving friend, it is not a passive act. It is a decision. It's the product of a mind that can understand distress, feel compassion, and choose support over aggression. The moments they aren't gentle and they're in must protecting a calf, or lashing out from trauma don't contradict their nature. They are the exceptions that prove the rule. Those are the times when biology or psychological damage overrides their sophisticated social mind. But in their daily lives, their defining characteristic is a gentleness born from an inner world far richer than we ever gave them credit for. The revelation isn't that elephants are gentle, it's why they are gentle. And that makes them more magnificent than we could have ever imagined. What we see in elephants is a reflection of the best parts of ourselves: community, empathy, and wisdom. They show us that strength and gentleness aren't opposites, but two sides of the same coin. But these incredible beings are in serious trouble. Habitat loss and conflict with humans threaten them every single day. The illegal ivory trade, though banned, still fuels poaching, tearing apart the very families whose bonds we've come to admire. Protecting them means protecting a consciousness that is precious and rare. If their story has moved you, think about supporting organizations dedicated to their conservation, like Save the Elephants, the World Wildlife Fund, or the Ombuseli Trust for Elephants. By working to secure their homes and end the conflict, we can make sure that future generations will have the chance to stand in awe of these truly gentle giants. They've taught us that true gentleness isn't the absence of power, but the thoughtful and compassionate use of it. The real question was never whether elephants can be gentle giants. The question is whether we can be a species worthy of sharing a planet with them. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Your support means a lot